Hey guys, Jason here, Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. Today we're going to scout a new area. It's not actually a new area. I killed my first big buck in Michigan here in 1998. And then a few years later, I didn't hunt it too much after that. And then occasionally I did. And then they clear cut this area about 5 years after that. So it's been clear cut for a very long time. And once they clear cut it, then the rifle hunters moved in because they could see very far and that kind of stuff, and they hunted it for a while. And now, I just kind of forgot about it. And me and my wife were out driving around checking things out, and we came over here and I looked at it, and it's heavily grown up, very, very thick, as you can see in here, and very impressive. And it's got this single track motorcycle trail that kind of weaves through here a little bit that lets me get access and kind of see what's going on. I can actually look down on this and see where deer are, what trails are being used from fresh deer tracks going across it, things like that in here. So it's kind of got a lot of nice features to it, and it gives me good quiet access to a lot of this area. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to spend the next couple days in here, not in a row. I have to work, but it's August 1st. Every time for probably the next, it's probably going to take me 3 or 4 days out here to get this 3 square mile area kind of dialed in and exactly like I want. But with how thick it is now and how grown up it is, I'm really excited to spend some time in here. Now this is my world where nobody else is hunting it. And I drive by it quite regularly, kind of, sort of, but I could see if other people were hunting it. And given the fact that it is now so thick and so like this everywhere that people can't really get in and do much to it, I think they've abandoned it, which is a gold mine for me. Because like I said, it was an excellent spot, produced big deer and great deer, and then it got clear cut, and then it went down to nothing, and then gun hunters hunted it because they could see forever. Now it's back to mine. So we're going to tear this up. I'm going to take you along. I'm going to try and get 3 or 4 sets in today. We drove through this, got out, walked this motorcycle trail for about a mile. Me and my wife did the other day, and said, yeah, you know what, this has got a lot of potential. I'm coming back in here. So now I'm out here, and like I said, I'm going to try and get 10, 12, 15 spots set up in here over the next 3 or 4 times I'm out here and I can scout. So let's see what we can find. Well, that's good. We just coming in here and checking this point here. Just typical, as like Dan in Fault would tell you. You know how bucks, this flies, how big bucks bet on this kind of stuff. But we just jumped a monster velvet buck, bedded right here in the dogwood, right on the end of this point right here. Coming in here, he just popped up out of there as I got to right here. He just jumped right there and took off running that way. There, sorry, I had to move over there, but I'm not going over there where that buck was. He was right there, bedded right there. I'm not going over there. I don't want to mess with his bed. Like I said, we're already into, first day of August. I'm not getting crazy, not getting too close to him. I'm going to leave it be over there, but definitely pretty cool to have that kind of stuff happening already. But I was coming along this point right here of this bog that stretches, and I was looking for cross trails like that one right there, like that one right there, and like this one right here that you can see. You can see this little faint transition trail on here, but you can see here that real big crossing trails through here. So I was looking for these, and I was just walking this whole thing up to the end to see if there were, how many of those there were. And that's when I jumped him bedded right over there. So it already shows we're in a real good area here. I'm getting pretty excited. Now I got to figure out, I know I want to put a setup in here somewhere, and I just got to figure out where. But you can see, like, look at this trail here coming through here. See this massive trail comes through and cuts right through there. It's a big misnomer that people think that the deer will walk around something like this, that they'll come up and they'll go, and they do. It's a transition trail here. You can see it, where they'll come right up the edge of this, and then they'll loop around this on the high ground. But deer have no problem. They actually prefer the cover of this to cut right through this kind of stuff. There's no reason for them to make that walk around like this for no apparent reason when they can just go right straight through it, and they do. So if you were to set up on the head of this little finger right here, you may be missing out, because a lot of deer traveling through here are going to come through this way. So it's a matter of fine-tuning and narrowing down what's going to give you the best odds. As a traditional bow hunter, that's very limiting. I get 20 yards in either direction, upwind, downwind, whatever way you want to cut it, but I get a 20 yard area on 40-yard diameter is my whole world there that I got to figure out. So really makes it kind of tough to narrow it down, but I need to take this sort of things into account, not picking one trail that looks to be the heaviest, but picking the area that's going to give me the options of most trails that are coming through there where these animals are going to move. That's kind of my goal here. So you got to look at everything and get big picture. All right, so in this first set here, this is the first tree we're going with. We're setting up, which is this one right here. It's maple. We're going to set up right about right there, just above that branch where that split is right there. And this tree is going to give pretty good options here. So if we look at this, and I walk this to show you, you can see here, let's come out here. This is that main trail, but I expect it to be more, I don't know, nighttime kind of, or nighttime. I'm expecting more to be there, but this is still a good trail here. But anyway, they come through here. This used to be a road, believe it or not. 20 years ago, I drove a car down this, and this is how we got back in here to camp, was right through here. 22, 24 years ago, something like that, coming right through here. But you can see this trail comes through. If I'm in that tree right there where my saw is, you can see that I don't have much. These are dead branches. That's what I carry that thing for. I don't even have a saw blade on it, but I can hook on these like this right here and just snap that stuff right off. And I'm not breaking any laws and cutting any branches. I'm just knocking down some dead stuff. But you can see that from there, I got good shooting to here. You can see I got good shooting from there to here. Again, I may just snap a couple of these dead branches right off right here just to pop that so I can shoot through there. But very good shooting to this major trail that comes through here. I have these kicker trails that are coming this way, going that way, right into that bog there, coming up the edge. I have another major trail, comes right up through here and goes right through there. You can see it all wore down right there into that bog. And I have another trail right here. You can see comes right up and cuts right across, goes right next to the tree where my saw is right there through there. Has that. We come into here. We got another trail right here that transition lines right along the edge of this, right on the edge of this bog point right here. So it comes right through. We have a major trail. Again, the tree I'm at being right here. Look at this trail that comes right up through here next to there. We have this trail that comes out and goes this way. It's part of that one I showed you from over there. We have these trails. Look at this big one here that comes right up through this right here and runs right there. That's my tree with the saw. Right there is where I'll be at. Then you have this other one that's going this way, working its way right up through here. Again, that's the tree I'm in, or going to be in. Comes right through here. We have another one, comes right up through here and meets here. You have another one that comes right up through here that meets here. One more that comes up through there and they meet at this big one that runs right up through this way. And then you have this one that runs right up through here this way. You can see the rub on that tree, that pine, but they run right up through there and right up through there. And the tree I'm going to be in is that tree right there. Okay, you can see my saw there. But right up there where I got good windows again, maybe just a little dead stuff. To give you an example of that, show you. But you just take your saw here, which doesn't even have a saw blade. I broke the saw blade off because I don't use it as a saw. I use it like a hook. And it broke. But to give you an example, like I need this branch out of the way, I can just take this with that hook. You can see this hook on the end of this. I hook it on there, and that's it. Now that's gone. I can hook it on here. Hook that. Now that one's gone. Hook that, and it's gone. So it's just a very simple little tool for these dead things where I'm not breaking laws or messing with anything. And now I've just opened up that entire setup to this stand site. Now you can see I have perfect shooting right to that tree, and that's it. Same here. This one here, it's in the way. Hook it, pull it down. Okay, you got a lot of these in Michigan. These just dead branches that are just in the way. Hook it, pull it down. So that's what I use this for, and that's why I carry it. But now you can see I just opened up that whole shooting right to there without even, I'm not breaking any laws or cutting any branches. So there it is, sweet and simple. But that is going to be setup number one. In here is going to cover these eight trails, I think. Here's the other one. Right here, you can see it running right through here. Runs right up and cuts right up through there. And this is all basically because of these 2 points. This is like a set of boobs right here, a big point right here. This is the cleavage in the middle, this channel here, and then there's another point right there. And I am set up kind of right in that cleavage where they're going to work through here. Not at the very end of it, but close enough to where they're going to cross through that and give me those options. And that tree is going to do it right there. And again, it's just a matter of grabbing a couple of these little dead branches. And there we go. And now I am wide open for shooting. All right, we got one stand set. Now we're moving on to the next one. But what we're doing here is, again, I'm using this single track dirt bike trail. You can see it's a Sunday today. I mean, this is all fresh. There's people riding through here all the time. These deer don't care about that. But I'm using this to give me signs because, again, we are in such a monotone type environment, okay? Nothing here is changing. This is all just 10-year-old, 15-year-old clear cut that they cut, 20-year-old, whatever way you want to cut it. But this has all been freshly cut and chopped down for the most part. And so what we're trying to do is figure out what these deer are doing based on what the deer are telling us they're doing, okay? There's not the terrain features in here to help me isolate this. I can't figure this place out on a map. It's not an option, all right? This is, like I said, too monotone in the most part. Now I can find some of the bigger stuff, but we're fine-tuning this. So what I'm doing is I'm walking this trail, and I'm, this motorcycle trail, and I'm looking for this kind of stuff. Look at this trail that comes out of here. Comes right up here. You see all the deer tracks on it. Comes right across. And then it jumps right back up. Look at all the tracks here. And it jumps right up and it's going this way, okay? I already know what's over that way. That's the area I just came from. We want to now know what's that way. So we know this one's going here. I know there's another one because I just walked in from this way, so I know there's another one up there about 150 yards that also comes out of here and goes in that way. We're going to walk this trail and see what it's going to tell us. We're going to let the deer tell us the prime spots to be in a place like this. This is not, like I said, this is not very map friendly or cyber scouting friendly kind of country. You just can't do it in here. So we need the deer to tell us this trail is a bonus for me that gives me a good idea. This stuff here is going to let us lead into where we got to go. So let's see what we find. All right, well, here's a good lesson learned. Perfect example. So in front of me, this right here is that trail we just started walking on, but we actually came, you can see how open this is out here. We came through here. Okay, we've been going for about 500, 550, maybe 600 yards through here on this one trail that I showed you, and it's been very monotone. There has been no intersecting trails that were of any value. There was no other merging trails in and out of this. There were no perpendicular or parallel trails next to it. There was no nothing. It's one trail coming through here, and it's used pretty good, as you can see, but I'm getting nothing else out of this. And then we get into this open stuff. I don't want to hunt in this open stuff. This is where other people are going to be. They like this stuff, and I don't want to be there. So we're going to basically write this one off here as a this trail is a bust. I'm not interested in this. It's not giving me anything of value, and you're never going to see me sit on a one trail stand. That would be a waste of my time. I need multiple options of multiple options of deer travel. I've been doing this long enough to know that they don't always do what they're supposed to, and especially when they're browsing and things like that too, and their travel. So I'm not buying into the one trail, taking one trail only. Not going to happen. So we're actually going to backtrack all the way back through all this stuff, all the way back out there, hit that motorcycle trail, and then work that down farther and see if we can't find some better options. But this, like I said, a very monotone trail. I mean, there's a few kickers that come across here, but nothing that's impressing me enough. And so we're basically sneaking back out of here, but you can see all the clearing in here, how it's all been clear cut, and the growth coming up and all that. But like I said, about 10 years. But yep, this trail, there's our one faint kicker trail right there. You can see barely that kind of merges into this. So if I were to hunt this, I would want to hunt where that trail and this trail here kind of come together and meet up right here. So it would be very easy to pick any one of these trees in here to hunt this, but it's still not good enough. So I'm not wasting I get very limited time to hunt in Michigan. And I'm not wasting a sit on a spot like this. I've got way higher percentage odds than many other places. So we're right in this particular spot here. This little area is a bust, and we're going to move on to another one. a few hundred yards, 500, 600, 700 yards down further, and see what we find over there. All right, let's pay attention to something here, because I just walked through here. Now we're going to backtrack, but notice we have one trail right here, not huge, okay, goes right up through here, but it's going on that angle. All right, this trail is going to wrap around, but we got one trail right there. Got a lot of deer tracks in the actual trail here itself, and this motorcycle trail. Don't trip on this stuff. But so we're going to work our way around here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, how this makes for a great easy way to do this. So we have another trail comes through here, goes right up through there. Okay, you can see for all the fresh tracks right down there too. Again, fresh as they can be here with all the bikes coming by. And we have another trail right here. You can see that trail comes right up out of there. Good trail. Works right across, goes right up here. Trails are getting better, but you can see it there. Goes up, but notice the angle they're going on here in relationship to where we are. You can see that clear down there. That's bog down there. That's marsh. But they're heading up out of here that way over here. Now we're dropping down into here. So we go, but this is where it gets interesting here. You know, so you saw those, the direction of travel on them. And you got one that goes up through, I saw one up here somewhere right there. Runs up through there, not huge, but you can see where it's all ripped up as they go through there. But so now we're dropping down through here. We're coming closer to that water, that marsh here. So we're working in, you can see the deer tracks here where they're crossing, coming right across, going right up through here, but still on this kind of an angle. Now notice so you can see we're going downhill. Okay, we're heading downhill. But we got this travel that's going in there. You can see more travel here. See them coming right across, going right up and into there. Here's that bog right here, which we will spend quite a bit of time on that bog. Don't have any mistakes about that. You can see your deer tracks running right down the road here. You can see this big trail here. But now notice, the trail is no longer going that way like they all have been. Now this trail is going straight this way. Okay, we got the hill. See where it starts to go uphill. We're kind of on a side hill, but notice this trail is going straight. And we had 3 other ones that were going this way. That interests me. That means that somewhere in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trails that will somewhere probably converge inside of there. That's interesting. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. Let's see what else we can find. So we know that what's going on. And we keep going down through here. Now we get right down here. This is the absolute bottom of this, all right? See, like I said, we go uphill that way. We go uphill that way. Here's the bottom section of this. We had all the trails on that side basically cutting in this way too here, and then even that one paralleling it. What do we have over here? We got a gardener snake. I don't see a lot of snakes in Michigan. Hey, little bud. All right, so but if we go up this way, we have this trail coming out right here, which is probably where that deer went, goes up that way. And when we get over here on this side now, we're starting to work our way back up. Marsh out here. So as we go up here, let's see what we're finding. Okay, we got a little trail that runs right up through there, but now notice that one's going that way. Okay, the other ones were all coming across this way. Now this is going this way. They're almost making a perfect triangular setup, meaning that somewhere in there they're going to meet together and come in. You can see this one comes right up through here, goes right up through there. That's that same one we just showed. We keep coming, see what else we can find on this side. Because I came in from over here, so I walked down to this, so I seen it already here, but we're starting to get up that hill a little bit. Look at the deer tracks in here. And we're working it. See what else we got. We start coming up. Here's a good one. So look at this one, working the edge of this here. That water's there coming right up. Look at this trail. Look at how heavy duty that trail is. It goes right there, but notice it's going that way. Everything is going to a point out there. Let me check this side, but hold on, I got critters on my, there we go, on me. There we go. So let's go up here a little further. See what else we find. And we got this right here. Okay, water's down there. Look at this trail comes up out of here and runs right through here. But again, notice the angle. So what that's telling us is that everything is meeting at a particular point. somewhere in there. These deer, all of this 150 yards I just walked, are all going in the same places. They're heading in the exact same direction. And so very, you know, look at, here's another one. Comes out right here, look, it goes right here, runs right up through here. All these deer trails are all heading in the exact same point. You know, when we were on the other side, they were angling to the left. When on this side, they're angling to the right. When we were in the middle, they were going straight. So it tells us everything is heading in one direction. And so what we can do with that is now we can actually hit those trails, walk them, and see where they come together. If we can take something that would have been a 1 trail or a 2 trail option and turn it into somewhere where 6, 7, 8 trails are coming together, we greatly improve our odds of actually killing animals. Now, is this the best tactic for killing a specific buck or the biggest buck in the area? No, I don't hunt those. Okay, I hunt deer. I'm out here to fill my freezer. Do I like killing bucks? Yes, I kill a lot of big bucks. It's very nice. I enjoy it. But those are my #1 priority. They fill my freezer. And every year I can get enough venison and pigs in there that I don't have to buy a half a cow or a quarter cow from a butcher. That's gold. So those are my bread and butter. They're my #1 thing because they're easier to get. They're everywhere, and I can put them in the freezer real fast. So so this is a perfect setup for that as far as trying to figure out what they're going to do. And then during the rut, I'm never here in Michigan during the rut ever, but if I were, you know that this would also be a fantastic rut spot because wherever those does go, those bucks will be following. So we're going to now dive in and see if we can find where all this comes together. Nice to see last year's rubs out here right off the bat. That's a good sign. But we are on the furthest trail out and angling in, and we're going to see where everything merges and where it all comes together and what's what and how things are happening, and just try and put it up into perspective. Again, we're in very monotone country, so we need to really rely on these deer to tell us what they're doing and how they're doing it through here. And these trails, when you're following, will start to get pretty faint at times. Like here, notice that it kind of is not quite as tight as it was right up through there where it was nice and tight. Well, this area opened up just a smidge. So they're going to wander a little bit because they would like to browse and pick up acorns and browse on stuff and eat as they're going. So it kind of opens up a little bit. As soon as it gets thick, oh, look, there it is. It picks right back up into an actual trail again. So don't be afraid of that stuff. Okay, now we're coming down that trail. We were just coming right down this trail here. Now I'm noticing that we're running into another trail. One of the other ones we saw is coming into here, and you can see this intersection where we have that real good trail goes right down through there. And now we got this really good trail that's going right up through there that way as well too. This spot right here, right at the base of my saw, where we're at, right there where it just fell, but that intersection spot, being able to shoot into this zone for deer that are on this trail or deer that are on this trail, literally doubles my odds of success. Doubles it over hunting a 1 trail setup. Okay, so that takes us, that doubles it. So we've just increased our percentage of harvest by you know, doubling it. So that being said, because of what we saw activity-wise from that motorcycle trail, giving it away and giving us that info, I think there's more to this and we can do better. But at least we know right here is actually a pretty decent spot at the bare minimum of what I would ever consider hunting. I would never hunt an area that didn't give me multiple options, and this one here at least gives me 2. Let's see what else we can find and see if we can't put this together even better. Told you those trails are busy. Listen, you can hear the 4-wheelers up there. There they go. You can see them. See it? Now where we are here is we are at that low point I was just telling you about. Okay, remember how I said that we had the hill here, the hill over there, and then that was that low spot in the middle. Well, we're moving down here a little bit and we're finding some interesting stuff here, and I'm still working it. I haven't put it all together, but I have a good trail. It's a good trail here. Kind of does peter a little bit and work through, I'm assuming, around right there because of the blowdowns. We'll look at that in a minute, but let's look at even here where we were just at. All right, so this is that main trail that we saw. This is that big trail that I showed you goes up the hill. We were just up there where we found the intersection is up there at the top. Now if we look at this and walk this backwards to where I was just at, we're going to find something interesting here. We have a cross trail right here. It runs through. You can see it here. See how that trail comes through? I'm pointing at it right here. So we got a cross trail So we got one trail there. We got another trail there. Comes up through here. This one goes up through here, which is bigger, more obvious, but still. But look at this big trail. Look at these two here that come together. You can see it all ripped up and shredded there. Comes through, and you can see this trail go right through there. This is the trail that I'm standing on, was the one I showed you that went up through there. I just showed you that a minute ago. But so we know we have the main trail here, a cross trail down there, 10 yards down, a cross trail right here, still working this main trail. And we have the intersection that I was showing you right here, where we have this trail, and then we have the other one that breaks off. Where was that at that I was just standing at when I showed that to you? Because I showed that one goes down the hill. Where was I just standing at? Right here. Here's the intersection right here. Okay, so here's that main trail, and then we have this main trail that comes through and goes right down there like I showed you. So now we have a trail here, and 3 cross trails that we need to figure out a way to shoot if we can. So if we can find where go between this trail and this trail and hit where we can shoot all those cross trails, we can get a place. So we know where those are. So let's just work down here and see. We can use this hillside to help us with wind and stuff too. So if we come into here and we start looking at this, if we start trying to figure out a tree in this particular area that would allow us to, maybe even this one, but something that will let us shoot the cross trail here. Yeah, I don't mind deer walking right underneath me. And the cross trails there that are here, that cross trail that's up there, and that trail that came down and goes right there. You can see here we have 4 major trails. Okay, here's one of them right here. I'm standing on it. But we have 4 major trails. So from where I'm standing at right here, if we can find shooting options through here, this particular spot I'm in, I can shoot 4 major trails around me. That's a win-win. Now it's just a matter of trying to figure out where to shoot through. And honestly, looking at this area, I don't see an option in here tree-wise. It's just too tight where I am. So our options would be to go back up and give up some of these trails and just get 2 of them, go over here and maybe pick up 3, or stay on the ground down here and try to hunt all 4. All of those options are good options. You can't go wrong with any of them, but you have to make that decision for yourself. Me personally, what I will probably do is I'm probably going to go over here and try and find where I can catch that real big main one, which is right there, right behind that bent fern, and where I can catch these cross trails, that one down there, this one right here, and try and get a spot where I can shoot at least these 3 trails. If I can get those 3 trails in, this might be a pretty good spot, possibly. Still not exactly good enough to make me get all excited and go, I'm gonna rush out here on opening day, but it's a good spot. Let's find out what else we can find. We know that's there. Okay, you can see my saw leaning against that tree right there. So if we come back out here, that's only, I'm gonna say it's probably 12 yards, 15 yards, but we have this intersection going on here. But look at this main trail, okay? You can see the saw there. Look at this trail that comes up right here. It's gonna give me real good shooting from that tree over there. You'll see better in a minute, but I got this major trail coming through here. I have this major trail coming right through here, goes right up through here this way. So those 2 are going to split that. One going right here, there's the saw. One going right there, there's the saw. 8-yard shot, 12-yard shot, cakewalk easy. And then I come over here and we have that main trail running right through here that we can shoot from here as too, right there, cakewalk easy. Not too bad. I can shoot it here. I can also shoot that clear as day right here. Obviously, cakewalk, you know, very, very simple. So and this is a 8-yard shot. So I'm getting great shooting at 3 of these trails. So I'm taking that option of the best of the 3, giving up the light, slight one down there. But I am picking up a bonus because we did not walk over here. But now that I'm looking at that tree, I come over here and I walk this side trail, that tree being that one right there, okay? We come over here and I'm finding a drop kicker. It's coming down right here, runs right off here, not as heavy, faint, but doable. I don't think I seen anything else over here, did I? nothing within range because now we're out of range. So, but I do have that. So it technically gives me, I would call that 3.5 if I want to stretch and reach it and push. But you can see there's even poop on this one here too, but they're coming right up through this trail also. There's my tree right there. So from that tree, I'm getting 3.5 trails out of this particular area. And again, we're in a very monotone environment. All right, this is very not the stuff we normally hunt because there's just no terrain features that make it any major beneficial to us here, but they are still great spots, and this is how I would do that. So here I'm taking that, I'm gaining 3.5 trails right here at this particular spot, right at that bottom, and they're zagging through it, and just like I showed you out there, but this here may have some potential. And would I come in right now and hang a stand and be set? No, not yet, but it may be a spot that I would come back and check out. What I mean by that is I may come in here in, like, say, a month from now, September 1st, and come back in here and check it with, on a rainy day with my rain gear on and walk in here and check it if I wanted to. Now, what I'll probably do, because of where we are, is all I have to do is walk that motorcycle trail, which is only 300 yards over there, and then cuts around, you know, to 150 yards there. We're on this point of it, but all I got to do is walk that motorcycle trail and see how many deer tracks are crossing it. There's a lot of deer tracks crossing it. I already know that if they're here, they're gonna cross by this spot most likely because of these 3.5 trails within range, 4.5 if you count the one that I can't shoot. Sometimes that's the way it goes. You just can't shoot them all sometimes. Not without coming in here with a chainsaw and trimming all this crap out to try and get a shot down there, and I can't do that. Okay, it's not an option. So, so you take your wins when you can, but 3.5 decent trails from this one particular tree, being 12 feet up in there, not very high, but just being tucked platform right about where that branch is, and then head right below those ones, but tucked in right there, I can shoot the vast majority of the deer that within, on that motorcycle trail as we saw, within 150 or 200 yards of that motorcycle trail, good odds are that those deer are going to filter through this particular spot because of their trails and what they're showing us. So that makes this tree a dang good tree. I am going to mark it on my GPS. I am going to note it, explain what it is, and have it there so that if I want to, and if I come walk that motorcycle trail, which they're used to people being on there, and I see all the tracks crossing like that, then I know that I can come in here and hunt this spot. It's already, I know what trees gives me the good shooting. I don't have to do this walk all over everywhere and try to figure everything out and see if I can shoot from it and see what deer trails are. I don't have to do any of that. All I got to do is come right up over that hill from this way, avoiding all of this trail activity, and just come right into here on my GPS, walk right into this tree, and climb up and set, and I am shooting, 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 and shooting. I'm covered. I got the whole set covered. So that's the beauty of being able to pre-scout, especially monotone places like this. I would never hunt a spot like this in if I was in Missouri, Kansas, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Georgia, none of those places, because you can't, if you can't pre-scout a spot like this, you can't figure this out on a map. There's no way to do it. You need boots on the ground for these kind of situations. They are fantastic places, but you need to be doing some scouting to figure it out. So when those out-of-state hunts, when I don't scout much and I'm more, you know, cyber scouting and hunting that way, I'm looking for terrain features. Here, this is a good way to hunt these monotone breakups, these monotone areas that don't break up. All right, well, there we go. We got 3 spots. We were out here for 3 hours. We have 3 spots that are set up that are pretty good. And, you know, but these are complicated spots, this type of terrain. Very monotone and very continuous with no terrain features. You don't know where bedding is in here. They can bed anywhere they want to. That water is more of a block than it is bedding. It's no, you know, there's no cover in it. It's just water. And so here, you know, you're running into, like I said, you don't know where bedding is. Bedding is anywhere they want in here. Any place they want to bed, they bed. There's no issues there. Food is everywhere in here. Okay, you got oaks scattered, whites, reds, you got stuff scattered in and around here everywhere. You have browse every place. You got these open little areas like this. When those ferns go down, that there may be some clover and grasses, things in there they want to eat. They got water's edge down there, which water always has stuff they want to eat. So there's no shortage of food, no shortage of bedding, and no designated bedding, no designated food. And there's not a lot that you can go on. There's other than trails. So find the trails that give you the most options to the right kind of cover and give you the best bets and try to, you know, use those to your advantage. So what I did here, I mean, I got a lot of confidence in these stands that we picked today, and I will definitely hunt them. But they are, like I said, these are not something you can cyber scout. This requires you to be on the ground, figuring it out, and put some boots down and walk them and see what the deer are telling you to do. In this type of stuff, let the deer tell you where to set up at. So thanks for watching.